from your New York Knicks.
This for my city, New York. New York City where it's gritty. Yeah. For my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. Yeah. For my city, New York City where it's gritty. NYC. For my city, never pretty. Yeah. New York City, sing it with me. Now we got the Nets that move into town. New York and Brooklyn showdown, but NYC has always been a Knick town. Orange and blue, we rock the colors with pride. Let's take it back to Walt Clyde and Earl LeBron going to work on you guys. The UN era was live. It started in '85. The Twin Towers would devour you guys. R.I.P. to Dave the Butcher. We can never overlook a Knick legend up in heaven, smiling down on our future. Bernard King, he was a scoring machine. He was a human wrecking ball, straight up destroying your team. There was no defense you could draw in the scheme. From post game to mid range, you had no chance. He would just shatter your dreams. Rod Strickland, Action Jackson, John Starks, he played with passion. Larry Johnson, Oak and Mason did a lot of party crashing. On any team who tried to step to NY, and if you put that jersey on, you better rock it with pride. What up, y'all? Stills the Great, Tip of the Gambler.
Yeah.
Knicks Talk Nation Radio.
What's
every
going on,
Monday,
world?
10 to 11. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Your boys is back at it again. Tipper.
Yo.
Another loss, man, in the books, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to sit there and kill the team like they've been losing a bunch of games in a row and everything like that. I think that they had a valiant effort today, but again, the same problems that plagued the team happened again today, man. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. We definitely going to talk about, a little bit of happiness in New York, man, in football land. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Giants advancing. Back up a little bit too, Tips. Giants advancing in the playoffs. And we're going to talk about some proposed rumors that's out there floating around the Knicks too, man. We're going to talk about the All-Star voting, what Knicks deserve to be there, as well as some of the teams that are looking to make a deal with the Knicks, man. But before we get into that, Tips, man, how was your week and your weekend?
My week and my weekend was good. Can't complain. Enjoyed some good games. My football, Giants winning.
Yeah, shout out to the Giants. Other than that, man, everything was good for you, man, during the week.
Everything was good. How about yourself?
I mean, well, everything was everything, man. Like I said, man, I was happy, man, over the weekend, man. Got to celebrate with a couple of my bros, man. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for inviting me to the party.
Hey, man, my space is limited because I got my little guy, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't even supposed to be nothing big. But you know how that go, word get around and everybody like, yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, you got something going on. You know what I'm saying? So, other than that, man, it was cool, man. We had a good time, watched the game, you know what I'm saying? And then yesterday, got to watch the Giants. You know what I mean? Do something that they haven't done in 12 years. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's and I'm sorry, since 2012. You know what I mean? They advanced in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? And they got a big matchup coming up this weekend against the Philadelphia Eagles, man, who I think they got a great chance of beating. But this isn't a Giants show. It is a Knicks show, but I do want to get your opinion on what you thought about that game, Tips.
That was a great game.
Yeah.
Great coached game.
Yeah. Shout out to Dayball. You know what I'm saying?
Great coached game.
Word up.
All depends on how far they go. He might get coach of the year.
Ain't no Mike. He deserved coach of the year. I mean, if they
it's down to 4 finalists. He's one of the 4.
Who else had a better season than him?
They talking about the coach from Philly as well as the coach from San Fran.
None of those guys should even be in consideration because they ain't have to deal with what Brian Daboll had to deal with. They had no real pick. They had no receiver. They had to go as far as going to the practice squad to get some of these guys that they got playing now.
Yes,
What's his name? Hodges. He came from Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? Practice squad, and he knows the offense.
He only played one game with Buffalo.
One game with Buffalo, kid, and now he's a jewel for us.
How about that?
You know what I mean? In New York, man, with the Giants. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Dayball, man. Shout out to, Joe Shane. You know what I mean? They
Shout out
here.
to R.J. Barrett, who was at the game last night.
And shout out to R.J. Barrett for being at the game last night, man. He's a true Canadian.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Him and Daniel Jones swapped jerseys and whatnot. Yes.
Oh, man. I didn't know that, kid. Him and Daniel Jones swapped jerseys?
Yeah, him and Daniel Jones swapped jerseys.
Oh, man. Okay, look at Daniel Jones, man. Check him out, man. Word up. Out here doing all types of big things, man. But let's talk about today's game, man. You know, the Knicks always play on Martin Luther King Day, man. It's a tradition. You know what I'm saying? The MLK matinee happened today at 3 o'clock at Madison Square Garden, man. The Knicks, unfortunately, lost 123-121.
Tough loss.
It was a tough loss. You know what I mean? R.J. Barrett led the way with 32 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and he went 2 from 9 from three-point range. They fall in love with that three-point ball a little bit too much, but nonetheless, he finished with over 30 points. You know, Jalen Brunson added 26 points, 7 rebounds, as well as 2 assists. Julius Randle had a quiet night, but a double-double once again. 21 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists. Shot 7 of 20 from the field. He went 1 for 6 from downtown. Quentin Grimes added 10 points, grabbed 7 rebounds, added 2 assists. And Mitchell Robinson, to round out the starting lineup, he added 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists in a losing effort. You know what I mean? Now, we played 8 men again today. Emmanuel Quickly, Isaiah Harkenstein, and Obi Toppin were the only 3. Well, actually, we went 9 deep today. Okay. So, McBride had the least amount of minutes out of the 9 people that they had in rotation. He had 6 minutes today. If you're on playing for 6 minutes, what's the sense of you putting him in the game? Obi Toppin, fresh off of injury, his second game back. He played 11 minutes. He scored 5 points. Grabbed 2 rebounds, had 0 assists. Isaiah Harkenstein, he played 16 minutes, grabbed 5 rebounds, and scored 2 points. Now, Emmanuel Quickly led the way for the bench. With 21 minutes in the game, he scored 14 points and grabbed 1 rebound. You know, on the Toronto side of things, Pascal Siakam, he had a strong night, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. Fred VanVleet led the way with 33 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists. And he's pretty tough. He was somebody that the Knicks were looking at one point in time to bring in, but the money just wasn't right. Scotty Barnes, who had jokes today on Quentin Grimes, talking about you ain't the one, brother. Like, you need to chill out. He scored 26 points, grabbed 7 rebounds, and also dished out 4 assists. Gary Trent Jr., he added 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And Anunoby added 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Now, statistically, when you look at all the statistical categories, the Knicks should have won this game. They out-rebounded, the Raptors 54-42, with 20 of them being on the offensive side. They dished out only 17 assists to Toronto's 27 assists. They also had 11 turnovers. That ended up killing us. But we shot 42% from the field, shot 29% from the three-point line, and from the free throw line, they shot 80%. Solid numbers, but Toronto definitely edged us. And looking at the game, Tips, what was it that stood out the most to you as to why Toronto won this game?
A lot of foul calls that wasn't called.
A lot of non-foul calls?
A lot of non-foul calls.
We gonna blame the refs?
A couple of them I blame the refs. They shouldn't have went into overtime.
They shouldn't have went in overtime?
Shouldn't have went in overtime.
Why not?
With RJ with that dunk towards the end.
Oh, when he stole the ball.
When he stole the ball, he went down the court and slammed it.
Yes.
Scotty Barnes was pulling on his arm when he was going up.
Was he pulling on his arm?
Yeah, he was pulling on his arm. They have it on video.
I didn't see that part.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Pulling on his arm. They didn't call that. That would have been an and one. The game would have been over.
Because when they stopped the clock, I thought it was an and one.
Right. Everybody thought it was an and one, and it was just right. It was just 2 points going into overtime.
And they called the timeout.
Right.
Oh. Wow, man. So again, today Tibbs opened up the lineup, but he really didn't open it up, man. He did a spades type of lineup, 8.5 players instead of 9. You know what I mean? Because there's no way in the world McBride can really do anything meaningful with 6 minutes on the floor. You know what I mean? Obi Toppin, we already know his story that they're not going to play him while Julius Randle is playing at the rate that he's playing. And to me, it was no coincidence that Julius Randle had been playing some of the best ball of his career when Obi Toppin got hurt and he have to look over his shoulder. So I'm really starting to think that
he had a good game yesterday.
Who?
Randall, when they played Detroit. He had 42 points, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did have 42 points, but that's the Pistons. We own the Pistons. You know what I mean? Again, the Knicks do what they have to do against the teams that they're supposed to beat. That's not the issue that I have. The issue that I'm having with them is that they don't have enough to take it to the next level. And they're not going to have enough until they really and truly make a bold move to go out there and get some, which we're going to talk about a little bit later in the show. I'm gonna end the show off with that. My theory on what they should do, or what they should at least try to look at and see if they can make happen. But Toronto, man, and let's look at the coaching, man. I said this earlier. Shout out to Dave. He had me on First and Next Stop today, man. I did their show earlier, man, and we talked about the same topic with the Knicks, and I mentioned that Nick Nurse is a great coach. And he outcoached Tom Thibodeau. And people question me on him actually being a really elite coach. What do you think about Nick Nurse as a coach from Toronto?
Nick Nurse is a good coach. Might be slightly better than Tibbs.
Slightly better than Tibbs?
Slightly better than Tibbs.
He won a championship.
He can get to the players more than what Tibbs is doing now.
Yeah.
So that being said, he's slightly better. I'm looking here at the minutes both teams played in this game.
Yes.
Nick Nurse played his starters off to his starting five, well over 40 minutes.
Yes, he did.
Well over 40 minutes.
He did. Pascal Siakam had 46. You can run it down.
Van Fleet had 45. Scotty Barnes had another 45 minutes. Trent Jr. had 42 minutes. Obi had 40 minutes. When he goes down to the bench now, the bench has 20, 18, 7 and 3.
Yeah. He played 9 men.
9 men.
Yeah, he matched Tibbs intensely because if you're playing your starters all game, what do you think I'm gonna do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't play at a disadvantage and I'm on the road. You know what I mean?
RJ Barrett damn near almost played 50 minutes.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not good.
49 minutes.
49 minutes in the game.
In overtime.
Brunson crazy. With his 43, Randall with his 42, Quentin Grimes with 40.
Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson's the only one who didn't get 40 plus minutes.
Yeah, he had 37 minutes, man. And somebody also said something very interesting to me earlier. And it makes me wonder, why isn't Jericho Sims playing? Why isn't he playing?
Okay, then I got another question for you. Because that'll cut down. His minutes is getting taken away by somebody.
By who?
Harkenstein.
But he played Harkenstein for 16 minutes. And Harkenstein gave you 2 points and 5 rebounds.
But what Harkenstein is really doing?
What is he doing?
What is he really doing on the Knicks?
I'm lost.
I'm saying he's not grabbing no rebounds, or he's not a scoring effort when they come in with the second unit, right?
No.
So then, why are you playing him? Because you just got him in the free agency? Yeah. Or because you had a hell of a preseason? Now we down to the regular season?
Yeah.
And you're not doing what you need to do?
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's weird to me. So that means that to
Harkenstein shouldn't be getting all those minutes. If he's not producing on the court, you don't have to produce in the points. You could be producing in other things, block shots, assists. Yeah. You could be a little Luka on the court. Joker on the court.
Oh, nah, hell no. Don't you ever disrespect.
No, I'm talking about as far as grabbing rebounds and as far as giving assists, to audition the ball around. You got to do other things on the court. And shout out to Brunson for being the player of the week last week.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Brunson.
Averaging 35 points.
Yes. And he got a big salute from John Morant. No, from Donovan Mitchell. Talking about that he out here balling out of control right now. He's out of control.
Right.
For real, that would have been a hell of a backcourt, New York.
Hell of a backcourt, New York.
But hey, man, I don't get paid to make those decisions, man. This is the second time we missed out on Donovan Mitchell. Even though, in all fairness, Danny Ainge probably didn't want to deal with the Knicks. But we had an opportunity, man. And if those extra picks was the roadblock in the deal, shame on you, Knicks. Word up, man. Shame on the Knicks for that. But this was a bad loss, man. It dropped the Knicks down. Well, they're currently 5th or 6th in the East, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? They're 5th or 6th in the East. The Raptors aren't even in the play-in right now. They're 11th or 12th in the conference. You know what I mean?
They're 6th right now.
Yeah, who the Knicks is, they dropped to 6, right?
Right.
And they're behind Cleveland, I believe.
3 games.
Yep, 3 games behind Cleveland. So right now we're in the top 6 spot, which is good. And I don't want to come on here and make it seem like I bash the Knicks every day. You know what I mean? And shout out to Shaw Legacy, man. He said Augustine is trash.
Call a spade a spade. Thank you, man.
Shout
Thank
out to
you,
Shaw.
man.
Word up. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's not trash, but he shouldn't be playing over Jericho Sims at the end of the day. If we got Jericho Sims for a steal in the second round, the boy jumps out of the gym. He finishes. You know what I mean? He does everything Mitchell Robinson does. And he sets solid picks. And he's young. You know what I mean? He's super young.
Yes,
so I don't understand why they don't give him the light that he deserves. Yes, he could be taking minutes from Julius Randle, but we need to rest our starters, especially if we going into the playoffs. The style of play that Tibbs is playing right now is based off of playoff basketball. Like,
right.
You play 8-man rotations in the playoff basketball. You don't go through a whole 82-game season playing your starters big minutes every game. What you think is going to happen to them when they get to the playoffs? The jump.
I said that from the jump.
Don't make any sense. You know what I mean?
said that from the jump.
Yeah, it's like it don't make any sense. You're going to burn your players out. By the time they do make it to the playoffs, they're going to get swept up or cleaned up by the better team because they're tired. You know what I mean? And I know as professional athletes, we can't use that T word because this is their job. They're off season. They're supposed to train, stay in great shape to get out there and do what they need to do. But in today's game, it's a little different, man, than what it was when we grew up watching basketball, playing basketball, and looking at the Knicks.
But Jericho Sims is always going to stay raw because he's not out there getting the burn and the minutes where he should be to get out there and play ball.
Exactly.
Exactly. He should be out there with that second unit.
Exactly.
Not Harkenstein.
Not Harkenstein.
Sorry.
And it shows in the stat sheet. You know what I mean? Toronto blocked 12 shots. The Knicks only blocked 5. Who you think got a majority of those blocks for the Knicks? Mitchell Robinson. You know what I'm saying? You don't think Jericho Sims could have came in and been a defensive presence? He plays defense. He grabs rebounds. Again, rebounds wasn't the problem, but the turnovers were the problem and the assists were the problem. We had 11 turnovers this game. We only had 17 assists. As far as the steals, we were careless with the ball. Toronto stole the ball from us 8 times. We stole the ball 3 times. The stats, the little things don't lie, man. We shot 31 threes. We only made 9. Toronto shot 44 threes and made 13. So that just tells you the style of the game is really changing right now. 44 threes is crazy. You know what I mean? And that came from Toronto,
I'm gonna say this: the NBA kind of messed up this season in scheduling.
Why?
Giving teams back-to-backs, or a team like the Knicks when they had to play the Bulls 2 nights in a row in Chicago. It's kind of hard because you're giving the team time now to get ready to play the next team again.
Yeah,
and be ready for them, basically.
Absolutely. But I mean, I think they've been scheduling this way for quite some time, though. Like I don't think
they had back-to-backs, but they never really had like back-to-backs in the same place.
Yeah, that's true too.
I just seen over the weekend Dallas and Portland, Saturday night and Sunday night, back-to-back.
I did see that.
So come on, what's going on here? They just played each other. Yes,
they did that to the Knicks. When
they played the Bulls about a week and a half ago.
Yes, absolutely, they did.
Yeah,
I don't know what that's about. I don't know if they just trying to get the games in. I don't know. That is weird though.
That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird though. I don't know why they would do that, but I don't know, man. I know that Damian Lillard and Luka went at it that night too.
Saturday night, they went at it.
Yeah, they went at it.
They went at it.
Shout out to Dame, man. I wish we had Dame too, but hey, man, he looks like he's gonna stay in Portland. You know what I mean? Word, man. But let's talk a little bit about this All-Star voting, man. The results, man. Now, somebody that we both didn't mention when we were just talking about the team is Derrick Rose.
How about that?
Derrick Rose is also, bring him up in the Knicks rumors after we, take a little short break. But Derrick Rose is leading all Knicks in All-Star voting with 298,000 votes. He's right now, as the results are coming in, he's in there. You know what I mean? He's in there. He's definitely one of the fan favorites. But how now when something like, because this happened to him last year as well.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the bench and they still gave him a whole bunch of votes to get into the All-Star game. Now, as a player, how do you think guys like Jalen Brunson may feel behind this when he starts over Derrick Rose? You think he feels away?
He might feel a little some type of way, but he's probably just happy that somebody from the organization is going to the All-Star game.
Yeah, this is sad.
You know?
It's crazy. And he's been putting out, like you said, he was the player of the week. And you know what I'm saying? He obviously is one of the reasons why the Knicks have a decent record this year. And they look respectable. They look like they don't need a point guard anymore. You know what I mean? That's their needs.
Well, the bad thing about everything is that the Knicks don't get much representation in the All-Star games. You know,
Outside
I think the last
Carmelo was
right.
in,
and the only ones who are really voting for New York players are the ones that live in New York.
Shout out to the homers.
You know,
word up. Shout out to the Homer Knicks fans out there, man. Word, man.
No, nobody else outside of New York most less vote for Knicks players unless they're a superstar or somebody.
And shout out to 3D, man. No off-season podcast. He said your point guard took 29 shots. Sheesh. That is a lot of shots on the point guard, man. But he's doing what they need to be done, man. They need him to facilitate. They need him to score. They need him to score baskets. They need him to score some points. But 29 shots is a lot, man. That is a lot for a point guard, man. You know what I mean? And we come from that era where point guards used to put up, I ain't gonna say put up a lot of shots, but they put up big numbers. They may have been a little bit more efficient back then.
11 for
so
29.
He took more shots than that. 11 for 29.
2 for 6 from three-point land.
2 for 6 from three-point land, 11 to 29. Shout out to my man 3, man. Word up, man. But Derrick Rose being voted on before any of the other Knicks, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's a little disrespectful, but hey, man, the fans like who they like. You know what I mean? And shout out to that Facebook user. They said they shouldn't let fans vote. But I mean, the fans are the ones that's paying for these tickets.
They're the ones paying them $100 better tickets for all them tickets.
So you gotta let them be a part of it. That ain't never gonna happen. They've been voting forever. People been getting snubbed all the time. You know, the fact of the matter is, and somebody said something interesting as well. The All-Star slots, what is it? Only 12. It's a 12-man roster.
Mm-hmm. Somebody
was saying that they need to expand it to 15. You know, so that you can get the people that needs. I think it was Stan Van Gundy or Jeff Van Gundy that was saying they should open it up to 15 slots so that, you know, guys that deserve to make it actually get to play in the game. You know what I mean? And I don't disagree with that because I do think, you know, certain guys deserve their credit for putting in the work and getting better and coming back better. And guys like Jalen Brunson deserve to be an all-star because at the end of the day, he transformed the Knicks. You know what I mean? His presence is helping Julius Randle out now. You know what I mean? So I think that he should be compensated for that. He said Brunson took more shots than 4 guys off the bench took combined. That's a problem. That's a problem.
That goes back to coaching.
That goes back to coaching. You know what I'm saying? I can't blame the player. If the coach is giving you the green light 3, you know, nobody gonna say nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody gonna say nothing.
Nobody gonna say nothing, man, for real. You know, so you know, I can't knock him for doing what they're allowing him to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? But hey, man, he needs to put some shots up because the rest of the team isn't holding their weight. Now, RJ Barrett sometimes he's off and on. You know what I mean? Off and on sometimes. So we can't control Brunson just saying, you know what, I got to take control of the offense because right now we flat. Now, what I will say is that shot that he took at the end of regulation. Well, that was the end of the game.
Then the overtime.
And overtime
when he
was
shot
terrible.
that brick.
Yeah, he came down like he was in the park, like on a fast break on his own and just pulled up for three. Like he must have just been tired. But then again, goes back to tired legs. Your brain starts to get tired because that wasn't a good basketball play. That was just a play that was like, you know what?
Let me see if I can finish it.
Nah, let me just get out of here because I want to finish. At that point, he didn't care if he won or lost. When you come down and fire a shot like that, now granted, it was like 2 seconds left before, the buzzer sounded, but you could have got a better shot than that, or you could have went a little bit closer for a 2 to tie the game. He just tried to flat out win the game, and it was a bad shot. And that's what happens when you got tired legs, man. Nobody want to really play no more. It's like you ran these dudes into the ground. Like I said, like it was a playoff game. But, it is what it is, man. It's all part of growing pains. I can't kill him because, again, the coaches allow him to do it. You know what I mean? Word. So, other than that, man, do you think that at the end when it's all said and done that the Knicks will have representatives from their team on the All-Star team this year?
They may have one, maybe two, maybe
two,
maybe two.
All right, so who's the two?
It'll be Randall might be an alternate.
Randall might be an alternate. So Randall, okay, Randall,
and it'll be a toss-up between Rose and Brunson.
He said that's and shout out to No Off-Season Podcast. He said, who's the All-Star, Brunson or Randall? If you had to pick one, who's the All-Star?
Both of them had a stellar performance in their last 8-9 games. I give it to Brunson. He took a little step higher in his echelon.
Now,
higher up.
I mean, I would say Brunson as well, but this is where politics comes into play. Who's the guards that he has to overtake? Kyrie, Donovan Mitchell, DeMar DeRozan. Who am I missing? James Harden.
Homeboy from Chicago.
No, I already said him. DeMar DeRozan. So that's 4 people.
And Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine too? You think Zach LaVine is worthy of an All-Star nod this year? Not over no DeRozan. DeRozan been closing games. We was at the game.
Yeah, he was closing the game.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a tough batch to break, And if you want to add, whatchamacallit, Darius Garland, yep. That's a hard nut to crack.
Didn't forget about Trae Young, all of them.
Yes, Trae Young. It's going to be hard for the guards. Somebody going to get snubbed, period. And they probably going to snub. Yeah, Jimmy Butler haven't been having a great season, though. Shout out to 3, man. Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, I don't know. That's a reach with Tyler Hero. I don't know. What you think about Tyler Hero, Tips?
No, that's a little reach.
That's a reach?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Somebody on the Knicks should get over him.
That's a fact, man. But it'll be interesting to see who they get. But now the road is even tougher for Randall too. You got KD, you got Giannis, you got Tatum, you got Jaylen Brown. You know what I mean? Who else am I missing?
Giannis.
I already said Giannis. Yeah, so it's like they gonna get snubbed, man. Because you could put Jimmy Butler in that forward position too. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that it don't look good. It don't look good, man. And it's like, damn, somebody's gonna get snubbed regardless. Like, and it's probably gonna be Knicks players. Like, I don't think the coach is gonna do them any favors by voting them in either.
Well, at least we won't be the only team. Because the Hornets will be another team too with Ball.
LaMelo Ball, yeah, but he's slowly but surely getting to that status where they're gonna have to respect him.
Then Washington don't have nobody in the mix.
Bradley Beal. Well, Bradley Beal's been hurt.
Right.
Kristaps Porzingis has been hurt, and he's not consistent either.
Right.
So those guys, you can't,
Yeah.
Well, you're right. So it's a brighter side of things, right?
Right. There's more teams
there's
just
more.
besides us. We have the team. We got players that are doing their job. They're just not. They're being overlooked.
That's a fact.
Compared to teams who are just bad.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You know,
that's a fact.
Like Kenny the Jet Smith said today. You know, the Knicks is like a 5th, 6th team. You know, they might be a superstar away from going further than the first round. You know,
that's what he said.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's not lying. I say that.
They're a player. They're a superstar away. They need a superstar on the team right now. The way they play, they need a superstar.
Yeah, they need one. They need one.
They need one. They need one badly.
You know, like I said, man, I can give my theory on that. And you know what? Speaking of that, man, let me get to that, man. So this was sort of like a hypothetical thing, and like I said, a lot of y'all was killing me about this. I mentioned it on the No Off Season podcast that we have every Friday, 8 to 10. Myself, DJ JOJ, and 3D. I brought this scenario up, and people were basically saying I'm delusional, and why would anybody do that? And, you know, this, that, and the third, like it don't make any sense. Typical Knicks, if something like that was to happen. But I threw up a hypothetical equation, man, about LeBron James coming to the Knicks. You know, I want to hear from my Knicks fans that's out there checking us out live on Facebook or live on Bars and Hoops Radio or live on YouTube, man. You know, why would a move like that make sense for the Knicks, right? LeBron has shown signs by his words and his actions that he doesn't like the situation in LA. He said on numerous occasions, I'm not used to losing. This isn't the type of situation that I want to be in, and my career is far from over. And he's also went on record saying that he wants to play with his son. Now, the Knicks got draft picks for days. They could easily draft his son. He's not a first-round pick right now. He's definitely a second-round pick. He might not even be drafted. He's 6'2". He's undersized. What is he, a point guard? Is he a shooting guard?
Shooting guard.
Yeah, like, so chances of him making it in the first or second round or even being drafted at all is slim to none. And if he does get drafted, it'll be drafted for the reason that I'm saying right now. Just straight from his father. His father may want to come to whatever team that he's at and kind of help mentor him and not even mentor, that's his dad, but show him the ropes of the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
I think Carmelo's son will go higher than him.
Wow. Cayenne?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And he's younger than Bronny, though.
He's younger than him.
Yeah, he's younger than Bronny. So Bronny got him about
time.
2 years. Yeah, he got him about 2 years.
Yeah.
Word. So now, another factor to look at is Anthony Davis is always hurt. Now, I know people are saying, well, LeBron to the Knicks ain't a lock for them to win no championship. It's not. And shout out to 3, you know what I'm saying? He got on me like he's saying that people ain't looking and beating down the door to play with LeBron right now.
Nobody is.
They may not, but in the right situation, they may do that. Why? Coming to a big market like New York, playing on the stage with LeBron, you now got the spotlight now to shine. Endorsement deals and all that. This is when players will start thinking about the bag even more. I'm just guessing.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
You just want the Knicks. It'll be a plus. It'll be a win-win for LeBron as well as the Knicks.
That's a fact. It'll be a win-win for both sides.
It'll be a win for LeBron because LeBron is coming to a team that's already established. He don't have to really establish the team.
No.
That's one.
Yes.
2, the Knicks need a player like that for moments, closing ends of games.
Exactly. Period. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that. The season, I mean, the ticket's going to go through the roof. Get him because you get him in his final years. You know what I mean? People going to want to see him play his final years. And for him, business-wise, it makes all the sense in the world. You got your roots already planted in LA. You know what I mean? Now you get some roots in New York City. He's going to keep that billionaire status and add on to it. You know what I mean? Just being in this market alone. His sneakers will go up exponentially. Can you imagine them just putting out New York City edition LeBrons?
Mm-hmm.
People going to buy them like they buy those Kyrie sneakers. You know what I mean? So business-wise, it makes all the sense in the world for him to want to come to a place like this. I know people done said that. He done went on record and said, nah, I'm not ever thinking about playing for New York, and I think it was another team, he said. But money talks, and at the end of the day, he always did say that he wants to play with his son. And if the Knicks was to draft his son, I think that he'll be open to coming here. Now, he can't be traded until after the trade deadline, which is February 14th. So it won't happen this year. It won't happen during the season. It'll have to happen during the off season, which is the best time because the Lakers have no draft picks. They don't have any draft picks until 2025. No first round picks, no second round picks. They got nothing. They depleted their whole draft capital to bring in guys like AD. You know what I mean? So the Knicks have all the picks in the world. They got 11 first round picks over the next 7 years. 11. And we own all of our draft picks moving forward. So they got hella draft capital to drop to get LeBron. And I ain't saying they got to give up the farm. You can give up a couple of disgruntled guys like Cam Reddish, Derrick Rose, who has a house in L.A., you know what I mean? Wouldn't mind playing in Hollywood. And a guy like Evan Fournier, as well as some draft picks, you know what I mean, to bring in a guy like LeBron. Now, I'm not thinking that Bron is going to come here and be the savior. Like, I don't want him to be Cleveland Cavaliers LeBron. Not looking for him to be the Miami Heat LeBron. I'm just looking for him to add that presence, like you said, to close games and teach these guys how to act and how to step up in those big moments. You know what I mean? Now, another scenario that he mentioned that he wants, the Banana Boat crew. I mean, the only one that's not here is Dwayne Wade, right? He's retired. Carmelo still wants to play. No, but Carmelo should still be playing basketball. Let's not get it twisted.
Should and is two different things.
Yeah, he should, but we know that the reason why he's not playing is because there's politics involved, but why he's not playing. And he probably wants the right situation. But those right situations probably don't need his skill set right now. I just want him to get a proper farewell. Like, come back to New York. You came here in your prime. Denver done marked you off of their history list. They gave Jokic your number 15. So you can't even go back there to retire your number. They looked at you like, all right, thank you for your services now. Carry on to New York to your new home. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So his son lives here in New York. His wife still lives here in New York. It's only fitting that he ends his career in New York. So that's an incentive for LeBron to also come here. It's just a hypothetical, y'all. Don't kill me. I'm just giving y'all my thought process behind this thing. And Chris Paul is still playing, but it looks like the run in Phoenix might be over.
Phoenix is a shell of what they used to be.
They're a shell of what they used to be. And I think that CP3 will probably be open to coming here to finish his career as well, because I think he has 2 more years on his deal in Phoenix, maybe 1 if I'm not mistaken. But I think that Banana Boat crew will probably come through and have a reunion, just like the 54-win Knicks team had with Kurt Thomas, Kenyon Martin, Jason Kidd. All those veteran leaders came through and helped that team win behind Carmelo Anthony, but we lost in that second round in the conference semifinals against Indiana, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if it means that we don't have to destroy our core of players, like getting rid of a RJ Barrett or Quentin Grimes or any of those guys, it's a no-brainer move. You know what I'm saying? Because really, the Lakers really don't want no more young, because they got young players of their own. They just want the draft capital. You know what I mean? To get somebody possibly to help them immediately, you know? So what you think about that so far? You think that it's reason? Do you think that it's realistic? And do you think that it's something that, if you really had a choice, do you think that that's something that the Knicks should do?
It's a possibility. You know, they got to explore all their options this summer.
Yeah, we have to.
Moving forward, they got to explore all their options this summer.
Yeah, because I'm tired of running in place. I'm tired of running in place. And I feel like we're running in place with the moves that we made already. I don't think we're going to get any better. I mean, the players are getting better, but we got a coach that don't even utilize the players that he has. So everybody's not going to get better, and it's just going to be the same old team. But I'll let you finish your
So whose fault is that? Really, whose fault is that? It's the coach, but it falls on the management because the management still talks to the coach as far as the GM, as far as, come on, you know you need to be doing your job a little better here now, but you need to be playing certain people. You see, they sat him down. He started playing some of the youth more.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know?
And shout out to Shy Legacy. So he asked me a question. He said, so who you giving up in a trade, right? So to answer that, Shy, like I said, you got Cam Reddish sitting there. You got Derrick Rose sitting there. You got Evan Fournier sitting there. You know what I mean? I hate to say it. You know, my guy Obi, the Knicks aren't playing him. So obviously you're making him seem like he's available. You also got Quickly that you can move, who's playing great off the bench. And I think that people will bite on accepting him in a trade along with some picks. So those are the guys, the prime candidates who I would think will be on the way. You also got Jericho Sims, who they're not using, or maybe they're trying to build up Harkenstein's value to add into a trade package to get what they really will want. So they got options to, you know, move and shake and make moves because we, like I said, we have 11 first-round picks over the next 7 years.
Do you feel R.J. Barrett is the answer for New York? Damn all those little spurts. Him having a little 21 here, little 28 here, little 32 there. You know, do you actually think R.J. Barrett will ever be an all-star? The way he plays right now.
That's a great question. And my answer to you is, by the way it looks now, he's never going to be an all-star. You know what I mean? And I hate to say that, but it's obvious that he has a skill set. He's a decent player, but it's just that it factor isn't there. I don't see, but RJ is, RJ, I ain't going to say he's holding us back there, Shy. Shout out to Shy Legacy. I'm not going to say he's holding us back. I guess if you look at it, I guess holding on to him is holding us back because we could have made some real steps moving forward. And shout out to Shy for that. We could have made some real progress if we would have added him in a deal with Utah. But you know us Knicks fans, man, we like scorned relationship partners. You know what I mean? When you catch a raw deal, it's hard to, you know, look past that stuff, man.
So what you think is holding R.J. Barrett back?
And shout out to No Off Seasons 3D, man. He said the Knicks have no cornerstone player on this roster. Barrett is a fringe all-star on certain teams, which is true. But at his position, it's going to be hard for him to make an all-star, especially here in the East. With Tatum and Brown here, that ain't happening. KD still playing, that ain't happening. But say it one more time, Tips. I'm sorry.
Oh,
did you ask me?
I forgot that.
Okay, shout out to Tips.
I just forgot that. Quick.
Shout out to the good weed man out there.
I was listening to what you were saying, what 3D said.
All right, so 3D said that RJ, Shy Legacy said that RJ is actually holding us back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And when he said that, it took a little while for it to register, but because we keep holding on to the fact that we want him to show that we draft you number 3 overall, you know? And as soon as I said that, Shah said this. He said he was a bad third pick. You know, most third picks change franchises. RJ is very basic as a third pick. So who else in that draft after RJ is actually making an impact? Do we got to revisit that draft real quick? That was RJ Barrett was drafted in 2019. I believe so. 2019, 2018. Look at that draft class. You tell me after the first 3 picks, who else on that list was somebody that we missed? You know what I mean? Because I don't think it was too many impact players in that draft outside of Ja Morant and Zion Williamson. I don't think that there was. Darius Garland was picked at number 5, but it was Darius Garland. I don't think that. Well, he was an all-star, so I can't even say that he was an all-star.
I would go with Garland.
You would go with Garland over RJ?
I would go with Garland. He's an all-star.
He is an all-star. We can't take that from him. Can't take that from him. Shout out to Shaw Legacy. Garland over RJ. And we did need a point guard.
We did need a point guard.
And we needed a point guard, and shame on Knicks management.
Shame on Knicks management. I see Terrence Mann here.
Terrence Mann, no, hold on. No, don't do that.
I'm just saying
Terrence Mann.
I'm seeing players here. Players that they looked over.
So the only one that seems solid right now is what Shaw pointed out to us, Darius Garland. Everything else after that is...
Or maybe Jordan Poole. He was in that draft that year.
Man, get him out. He ain't no all-star yet. Hell no. Garland is the only pick, and shout out to Shaw that he's an all-star. Nobody else from that draft class is an all-star outside of Ja Morant. And the next is going to be Zion Williamson. You know what I mean? So I guess RJ is holding us back. I guess he is. And they had to pay him because they didn't want to pay to play to get Donovan Mitchell. Now,
I know you always throw in your hypotheticals. I got a hypothetical for you too.
Let me hear that.
You know how the Knicks was winning a lot of games when RJ Barrett was not playing? And there was a particular player on the Knicks who was picking up some of the slack. Granted, the bench wasn't producing as well, but there was a player that was on the bench that they put into the starting 5, and he was coming alive. Now,
Cam Reddish?
No, it was quickly. It was quickly last week.
Yeah, it was.
It was quickly last week. They had quickly in the starting 5.
Yeah.
They had quickly beat Toronto when the Knicks beat Toronto last week.
Yes.
It wasn't RJ Barrett on the team and they were going to court.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
You know?
It wasn't.
My thing is Tibbs don't use common sense. What might have worked for you previously in another game, why not you try that concept again?
Yeah, because he's stubborn.
I'm just saying.
Nah, he's stubborn.
You had a 3-guard lineup before. The 3-guard lineup was problems for Toronto in the last game. Now you throw RJ Barrett in the mix. Now it's all a problem. They can't finish the game. You want RJ Barrett to be your closer, but RJ Barrett ain't built like that.
Yeah, he's not. Neither is Randall, though. Randall padded stats. He get a lot of stats.
The thing with the Knicks got excellent complementary players.
Yeah.
All they need is a superstar to tell XYZ where to be when it's time to be, when they're going down the court on the offense as well as on the defense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson is just a 5 to 10 games more wins in their season.
That's a fact. And shout out to Shaw Legacy. He said that's the problem I got with RJ. He hasn't achieved anything that other guys is out there getting. Then there's even Tyler Hero. He got the 6th Man of the Year award, and he was picked number 7.
How about that?
So would you prefer Tyler Hero than RJ Barrett right now?
It's a lot of pressure playing in New York. Let's get that out the way.
It is.
There's a lot of pressure in New York.
A whole lot of pressure.
And it takes a lot in a player, any sport, to come to New York and play in this big market.
Absolutely.
Now, some players are built for it. Some players ain't built for it.
That's a fact.
I think RJ Barrett is
built for New York.
He's built for it, but he's not built for it on the court.
What you mean he's not built for it?
I'm talking about as far as closing games out and doing things and taking it to going to a next level with his skills in his game. You know, that's what I mean by
Got you.
You know?
Got you.
He didn't take it to the next level.
Yeah.
That's what they're kind of missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They missing that.
They need a closer. They need a guy that's gonna finish some teams, man, for real.
Don't need a Carmelo Anthony to tell everybody to clear out and he going to take the ball and want to shoot his little BS. You know, none of that. Simple. When the ball is moving around, the Knicks win games. When the ball is stagnant and players are not moving the ball around and they're going to one-on-one, the Knicks have problems in winning games.
Shout out to Tips. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
You got to move the ball around.
Yeah.
You got to.
Yeah, but
that one-on-one is not going to get it.
Oh, my
not
God.
going to get it.
You know who's moving the ball around right now? The Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, them Cowgirls.
They are beating the brakes off of Tampa Bay right now.
Cowgirls.
They sending Tom Brady on to Miami after this one, huh?
Nah, he going to Disney World.
He going to Disney World. 31-6 is the score. 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. But let's talk about, we got about 10 minutes left in the show, man. So let's talk about some trade rumors out there. So the Knicks are pretty much looking to do Derrick Rose a favor, man. They want to do right by him if any trade or anything was supposed to pop up with him possibly being moved. So, you know, if his career is over, you know, the team reportedly wants to make sure that there are no hard feelings between him and the organization. So with that being said, that means that they're only going to send him to a contending team. So with that being said, what is a realistic destination that Derrick Rose would strive in and have the best chance to win an NBA title in? Go ahead, Tips.
He can go to Portland. He can go to LA, the Lakers. He can go to the Clippers.
Hold on, but Portland ain't, well, is Portland
a backup guard. He could be a backup guard on that team.
Oh, they got Anthony Simon already. And he's a problem.
Okay, so scratch them off then.
Yeah.
You can go to the Clippers or the Lakers. They both need a guard.
But
Phoenix.
Are the Clippers contending? Remember, they want to do right by him. They want to send him to a contender.
I'm saying, if Kawhi Leonard plays instead of sitting on the bench more, you know, they might be that way. You gotta look at it. Yeah. They rest in Kawhi Leonard like 20, 30 games, man.
That's a fact.
Instead of playing him.
That's a
My
fact.
thing is, what are you resting him for if your record is shitty?
That's a fact. And shout out to Shy Legacy, man, because the team that he just mentioned was on one of my team's realistic destinations too. And Shy said Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee would be perfect for him. It ain't too far from Chicago. He was there already. They need a backup point guard because I think right now they got Pat Covington. They got George Hill. They used to play for the
he hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt. So Milwaukee would be a great place for him. I also think that Brooklyn would be a great destination for him. He don't got to uproot himself from New York because he's used to the New York lifestyle right now. I also think Denver and Dallas out west would be great destinations for him. What you think about that?
Dallas would be a good spot for him.
Dallas for sure.
Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
It gives him the pressure off of Luka.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't have to be, the holding the ball all the time, whatnot. They have a true point guard giving him the ball.
Absolutely.
But some of those teams don't really have much to offer
Denver
in return.
No. Well, that's the thing. Like right now, the Knicks ain't gonna be able to get no star players or anybody that's gonna be really meaningful or helpful to the team. So what I think they'll probably do,
Phoenix.
Why not
Phoenix. It's almost around that time.
They got Cameron Payne there.
Cameron Payne, he hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt right now too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He's hurt. Booker hurt. Chris Paul hurt.
Yeah.
So
Phoenix will be decent.
Yeah,
Phoenix will be decent, but will they contend in the end?
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
For sure.
That's the West.
Yeah.
Anything can happen in the West.
What about Denver? You don't think Denver would be a great spot for him? Jamal Murray has been in and out of the lineup. He's healthy.
But they play that rookie kid. What's that dude name with a B?
Yeah. I forgot his name.
Boo, something like that. Booty, something to that
it's
effect.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Kim the braids.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they play him a lot off the bench for Murray. I seen the other day.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so I guess I do want to see Derrick Rose basically get a good chance to win a title, man. Sent off right, man. Clippers won't be a bad option too, because John Wall is in and out of the lineup,
right,
as well. And Reggie Jackson also is,
right.
And
they really need a true point guard over there.
Point guard.
They do need a point guard over there.
They do, but Derrick Rose, yeah, he's not a true point guard, but he's an explosive guard.
He's an explosive guard. He'll help them out.
Yeah, he can help them. He'll help them out for real. Another rumor that's out there, man, the Knicks can make a run after Alex Caruso, as well as a couple of other contenders looking to add Alex Caruso. What do you think about a Caruso deal?
No, I don't want no Caruso deal. I'll take Kuzma over Caruso.
Kuzma?
Yeah,
Kuzma just got the bag too from Washington.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the last one that I heard today, and I just was like, I don't know if that makes sense to me or not, but they're also throwing Eric Gordon's name out there in trade rumors that the Knicks may actually look to get him from Houston.
Or that'll be another Derrick Rose with quickly on the court.
That's a fact.
You know?
That's a fact.
He might shoot more.
That's a fact.
No.
That's a fact, man.
But as far as bringing them to over that high echelon, I don't think Eric Gordon is him.
Eric Gordon.
No.
All right. So look, Tips. We're in the final 2 minutes of the show, man. I know you had one. I know you had a few questions. You asked one and I'll ask one, man, and then we out of here in 2 minutes for sure. Word. Yeah,
Tim Thomas.
Sure.
You remember Tim Thomas?
Absolutely. I remember Tim Thomas. Shout out to Shy. He said Kuzma for sure. He's only making $13 million till 2024. Wow.
Well, that's a lot of bread.
Nah, that ain't a lot. $13 million ain't nothing in today's NBA salary scale. But go ahead, Tips.
Hold on. I'm looking for my little notes.
All right, so since you're looking for yours, I'm gonna ask you one. How many All-Star teams did Allen Houston make?
4.
Wrong.
Well, he was hurt one year, so I say 3.
Wrong. Allen Houston made 2 All-Star teams in 2000 and 2001. Go ahead, Tips. What's your question?
Okay. Back in February the 16th, 2004, Tim Thomas was part of a 3-team trade with Atlanta and the Bucks. Who was the players involved in that trade?
Tim Thomas was involved from Phoenix to Atlanta. Hold on, he was on the Knicks.
He was on the Knicks. He was involved in a 3-team trade.
So who did the Knicks get in return?
Yes,
for Tim Thomas. I got 40 seconds. I believe it was Nazir Muhammad.
It was Nazir Muhammad and Joe.
I know my stuff, man. Joe Prisbilla.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I know my stuff, baby. Word up, man. Shout out to everybody out there in Knicks land. I ain't like Rothenberg from ESPN yet, but I'm getting it. You know what I'm saying? Word up. Shout out to my man Tips. He almost got me stuck. You know what I mean? Look at him, y'all. Look at him right there laughing. You know what I'm saying? Word, man. But shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight, man. We appreciate you, man. Every Monday. Knicks Talk Nation featuring myself, Stills the Great and Tip of the Gambler. Until next week, we are signing off.
Peace.
Peace.